Batman, The Killing Joke was directed by Sam Liu, the same director that actually did Justice League vs. Teen Titans and Justice League Gods and Monsters, both of which are very good movies as well. This movie brings back the original cast of Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, and Tara Strong for one final animated film, if you want to say that. Probably the final. We aren't entirely sure yet. So this movie is about basically the graphic novel Killing Joke, where, the storyline's kind of the same. Joker breaks out of Arkham, and he goes and wreaks havoc and mayhem and causes shit to go backwards. Except in this one, it's a little different. In this movie, we see a darker version of Joker. We see him paralyze Barbara Gordon and watch her become Oracle pretty much at this rate. As well as we get to see a lot of the backstory behind Joker and how he got to where he was. Because, he wasn't always the Joker. He had a backstory as well. So this movie definitely does that. Now, I really enjoyed this movie personally as a fan of the Joker, as you can see, and as a fan of the Batman movies and DC itself. I absolutely love this movie. However, I have to put those things aside for this movie. As much as I love this movie, I had to look at it in a different perspective, and so here we are today. So again, I actually enjoyed this movie as both a fan as a critic. The animation was actually really well done. I enjoyed it very much. There was a lot of noticeable CGI though with the animation, such as one of the scenes at the very beginning where there's a car chase and there's a semi as well, and so the semi is crashing into the cars, and you can tell that the CGI for that is just a little different than the rest of the animation in the movie. The story itself I've really enjoyed for the most part. I say that because a lot of people know, if they've watched The Killing Joke, that the first 20-25 minutes of the movie is basically a story about Barbara and how she kind of gets in the same world that Bruce Wayne, Batman, same freaking person. Basically how she gets into the quote-unquote abyss that Batman is in and just kind of isn't really necessary. The first 20 to 25 minutes is completely unnecessary to the story itself, to the whole movie. The only reason I think that they added in was to give Batgirl more of a reason to be in this movie, aside from, her backstory of how she becomes Oracle from Batgirl and such. That's about all I could think of for why they would add that scene in there. Now, the dialogue in this movie was actually well done by Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill did have some slip-ups because, he's getting old. He can't do the Joker as well as he was able to, but it was still very well done for his age and the movie itself. Now, Tara Strong's Batgirl voice, the voice of her was good. The writing / voice acting for it was bad. Her lines were very bland. Her character herself just seemed very bland, even when she got really upset like this.
How dare you! I'm in this because of you! I did what you wanted! I made it work! Ugh.
I don't think it's good. She shouldn't be called Batgirl. She should be called Bland Girl. Yeah, there is a lot of foreshadowing in this movie, and I say that very strongly because there's a lot of moments in the flashbacks with the Joker and how he becomes Joker that it's like, I don't know how to describe it. There's one scene in particular where he says that starting Saturday everything's going to change, and then it shows a previous day of him as the Joker, and then there's a scene of him as the Joker saying something, and then it flashes back to a scene that has exactly the same thing to do with it. So there's definitely a lot of foreshadowing in this movie as well. Now, I keep going back to the very beginning with the whole Batgirl thing because it's completely unnecessary. There's a scene in this movie where Batman and Batgirl end up having sex on top of a roof. Writers, I get what you were trying to do. You wanted Batgirl to have a reason. I know that Batman and Batgirl had a thing once upon a time. But don't put it in a movie like this. This is too good of a movie, especially the fact that it's based off the graphic novel. It was way too good to pull that shit. Don't, no. You knew what you were doing before this scene. You shouldn't have had this scene in there. Now that I got that off my chest. Batgirl actually kicks off a little bit better when the actual comic part of the movie starts, such as when she, after she gets shot, and when she's talking to Batman, saying that Joker has changed so much, you didn't see the look in his eye and whatever. I'm not even gonna try and quote that. It was so bad, but it was actually a lot better than it was at the very beginning. And I wish that if they were to, since they did put the whole Batgirl scene in at the beginning, they should have stuck along the lines of actually giving her more feeling, giving us a reason to enjoy Batgirl in this movie, aside from her getting shot. That came out bad. Nobody enjoys being shot. Now back to the flashbacks. The flashbacks in this movie are very well done. I enjoyed the whole story of it. I enjoyed the way everything was going down. I enjoyed the little black and white color. Black and white color. I mean, it is color. And I enjoyed how they did that in it because it kind of showed like a flashback, obviously. I thought that was very well done. There were plenty of moments in this sequence, in these scenes, in this flashback, whatever you want to call it, where Mark Hamill's dialogue seemed very scripted. Like it looked like he just looked at the script and just read it off. And that's not something that should be noticeable, especially for someone as talented as Mark Hamill. He knew the Joker. He knows the Joker, and so he shouldn't have to feel like he has to read for the script. He knows the Joker. He should be able to play him just fine. Now, the very end scene is, in case you don't know, this is going to be the only spoiler I give that's relatively important, aside from Batgirl getting shot, but everybody knows that. If you don't know that, but anyways, the very end scene is a scene of Batman trying to help Joker, trying to say, I want to rehabilitate you, I want to make you feel better, I want you to get better. And Joker turns him down and tells him a joke, which I actually thought was a funny joke. Now in the comics, after that scene, Batman and Joker share a laugh, and Batman lifts Joker up as if he's going to pretty much strangle him, and then it leaves Batman just talking. They didn't do that with The Killing Joke. With The Killing Joke, what they did was they told a joke and everything. All that scene was fine. The only difference with all that was Batman, instead of lifting him up and like having like this big dramatic thing go on with like the background change and such, Batman simply just puts his hands on Joker's shoulders and just laughs with him, and then Joker stops laughing and it's only Batman. What? Like, I get what you were trying to go at. There are theories where, Batman had the needle on his hand that the Joker used at the beginning. That makes people smile and all that. It's like a poison needle. There are people that, theorize that that was what happened. There's theories of other things going on. But that scene itself should have been more dramatic with, just like the comic. Because that's a big thing. For Batman to laugh with the Joker and the Joker stop laughing and then it's just Batman, that's a huge thing in the DC world. Batman doesn't really laugh at all. Ever. And the fact that he's laughing with the Joker, his arch nemesis, without doing some sort of killing him in a way because Gordon told him to do it by the books, without showing that in any way, shape, or form, that's not good. I know in the comics they don't show him actually killing Joker, but they show him like lifting Joker by like the collar and such while laughing. But then they don't show what happens after that. Which, that's a good way to put it because you don't know what happened. In this movie, all you see is Batman just put his hands on his shoulder and laugh. So, that, I don't get why they didn't do more with that scene. This movie was rated R, and the only reason it was rated R was because of a specific scene that they wanted to add in that was based into the comics. Like, the comics showed it very graphically. And that was the only reason this movie was rated R, was because they needed to put that scene in, because that was a huge part of the comic, or of the graphic novel, whichever one you want to say. That was pretty much the only reason that they had a rated R. Otherwise, this could have easily been another PG-13 movie, but they were like, no, we want to make this the first rated R movie. Okay. So all in all, like I said, I did very much enjoy this movie. I do have a lot of nitpicks in this. I'm not going to get into every single one of them, aside from what I already did, because there's a lot more. But all in all, again, I did really enjoy this movie. I would definitely recommend it to people, and I think that this was a very good movie to indicate the Killing Joke. Now, I do want them to do more movies like that, such as like Arkham Asylum. I know that was a game. I get that was a game. But if they did it as a movie based off the graphic novel, that would be amazing. Like, oh my god, that'd be awesome. This movie was very well done, and I'm going to give Batman the Killing Joke a B-. A lot of people are going to argue with me about this, saying it should have deserved a lower rating. It didn't do very well in general. And yeah, I get that. It didn't do very well. But I still enjoyed the movie. And again, even though there were nitpicks and such in this movie, it doesn't deserve that low of a rating. A B- is a very well done rating on my half, I think, because while there were many flaws, the story itself was very well done. Kevin Conroy's Batman and Mark Hamill's Joker are very well done. If you could get past the first 20-25 minutes, or even just fast forward it or whatever, the rest of the movie is great. So, a B- is what I'm giving this movie. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. You all are freaking amazing. Being able to like my page and all that, you guys are freaking awesome. So for all the new people that are watching, or if you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. And as always, this is Pop Culture Critics, signing off.